Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn simple equations. If you remember in class 6 series of mathematics tutorials, we introduced algebra, and in that video I also talked about simple equations. Okay, so in this video we will do it in a little bit of a detail. I had not seen the course of class 7th earlier, and basically that video is also quite sufficient in that way. Okay, nonetheless, let's move into the video and let's see what we can learn in equations. Yeah, so we will be doing more problems. We will try to understand more practically what it is. Before that, let's recap what was it that we studied in the last video. So we studied decimals, if you remember, and in decimals one, सबसे पहले we revised the decimals. Remember the place value, we revised to add and subtract decimals, and then we moved into what we were to learn in decimals. So we learned to multiply decimals, and then we also learned that basically multiplication of two decimals is nothing but you convert the decimal into fractions and you multiply the fractions and then again convert it back into decimals. And that's how we learned that when we multiply two decimals, the whole method of adjusting the decimal, the place in which decimal will come in, is nothing but is a derivative of when you convert it to fractions and multiply. Okay, and then we learned multiplication of decimal and a whole number. We also learned what happens if we multiply or divide decimals by 10, 100,000, basically multiples of 10. And then we learned division of decimal, and once again did the same thing, converted to fractions, and then we did directly also. And then we learned that basically is the same thing. You convert a decimal into a fraction and then you divide it. Whatever you get, you convert it back to the decimal. It's one and the same thing. And for all our methods, we basically saw that fractions and decimals, both the methods are interrelated to each other. We can either convert the decimal into the fraction and multiply and divide, or we can convert the fraction into a decimal and then multiply and divide and convert it back. So it's I've always maintained that decimal numbers and fractions, they are one and the same things. They are just different ways of representing. But today we are going to learn simple equation. Now let me tell you what a simple equation is. Okay, but let me run through the agenda first. So I will quickly jog your memory from class 6th. We will uh, quickly revise what's a variable, what are algebraic expressions, we learnt about it, and then what are algebraic equations. We also learnt about it. So if you've seen that video, stop right now, because that video I've really explained it well. But if you haven't seen it, then please carry on with this one, and then we'll solve a few questions. Okay? So let's revise quickly. Variables, basically something whose value changes, is a variable. So all the numbers are constants, 1, 2, 3, 47, all these numbers, they are constants. Okay? Constant means something that does not change. And then variable, it is derived from the word vary. It means something whose value will change. So to express variables, we basically use letters of the alphabet. Anything from A to Z you can use in small letters, that is variable. You can also use in capital letters, it's fine. uh, but mostly people, as per the conventions of math, we use small letters. Okay, then expressions, algebraic expressions, it is a combination of mathematical operations between a variable and a constant. Those are expressions. So 2x plus 3, yeah, so 2 and 3 are constants, x is a variable. 2y plus 3 by 2, this is also an expression. So basically you can create expressions. These are mathematical operations. So this is a multiplication operation, this is a addition operation, this is a multiplication, addition, and then there is a division operation. So these are mathematical operations, but in combination of constants. Constants are what? Numbers, and then variables. Okay? So depending on the value of the variable, for example x plus 3, is an algebraic expression. Now when I put the value of x equal to 0, the value of this expression will be 3. If I put it as 1, the value of this expression will be 4, so on and so forth. So depending on the changing value of x, the value of the algebraic expression will also change. Okay, now we will move into equation. So now equations are what? Basically when you equate an algebraic expression to a certain value. So basically you put a condition. Let's say x plus 3 equal to 5. Now that's a condition I have put, that the value of x plus 3 has to be 5. Hence you find out the value of x, right? So now this is an equation, and when I solve for x, I get the value of x for which this condition is met with. So this is a condition that I kept here. I could have kept it as 5 plus x also, right? Or I could have put as let's say 5 minus, so x plus 3, another condition could have been 5 minus 2x, right? So then if I had to solve for x, the value of x would be 2 by 3. Okay, so basically these are equations. Whenever we put a condition to an expression and then we say that okay, now find out the value of the variable depending on meeting this condition, then that becomes a equation. An equation has two sides, LHS and RHS. We learnt it already. Anything which is on the left hand side of the equal to is left hand side, and anything which is on the right hand side of the equal to is right hand side. So let's write an equation. Let's say 2x plus 3 equal to 5. Simple. Okay, now see, these two sides are equal right now, है ना? So if we have to solve an equation, what we do is that we keep the variable on one side, okay, and then we keep all constants on one side. Okay, so this is called transposing. So I am keeping 2x here right now, and then I will move 3 onto this side. Okay, so whenever we transpose, whatever mathematical operation this number is doing here, on the other side basically it will do the opposite. So if it is 5 here, it will come around and become minus 3. Another way of understanding it is that if we do the same math to the both side, nothing will change, है ना? So if 2x plus 3 is equal to 5, if I add 2 this side and if I add 2 this side, will it change? No, it will not change. So the equation will still be holding. So if you look at it, bringing 3 to this side is basically, we are doing what? We are subtracting 3 from both the sides. When we subtract 3 from this side, basically we are only left with 2 into x, and that is the purpose. So basically 2 into x equal to 5 minus 3, which is nothing but the transposing thing. So you can add the same number on both sides, nothing will happen. Okay, the value will hold. Okay, you can also subtract the same number from both sides, like in this case we subtracted, the equation will hold. You can also multiply with the same number on both sides. Okay, but then you have to multiply the whole thing. ऐसा नहीं है कि you only multiply 2x or you only multiply 3. You will have to multiply the whole expression, the whole RHS, है ना? So let's say we multiply by 5, here also we multiply by 5 and nothing changes. It will be the same thing. Or you can also alternatively divide by the same number. Okay, but once again the whole thing. So for example, we can divide the whole thing by 2, but then here also we'll have to divide by 2 and the equation will hold. So that is basically how we solve equations. Okay, but a simple method, the same way, is basically we'll transpose. We shift, wherever you see a variable, we shift all those to one side and clean out the variable, and then we keep all the numbers on one side and then we solve. Okay, and while shifting we do opposite operations. So for example, it is 2x equal to 2 right now. Now this we know is 2 into x, yeah, equal to 2. So when x when I will move 2 to this side, here it is in multiplication. When it comes to this side, it will be in division, right? So this 2 has basically come here. So the value of x will be 1. That's how we solve equations. Now let's solve a problem. Now this is a problem which is a good problem. I mean, it's an easy one, but it is good in the sense that it brings together the concept of triangles, and within triangles the concept of isosceles triangle. Yeah. Do you remember isosceles triangle? In class 6th we had studied triangles and we also learnt isosceles triangle. So let's first jog our memory and see what is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle in which two opposite sides are equal and also two angles are equal. So if this is a triangle ABC isosceles and side AB is equal to AC, then angle B is equal to angle C. That is the definition of an isosceles triangle. Okay? And angle A is the vertex angle. So let's see what does it say. In an isosceles triangle, the vertex angle, let's say the vertex angle A is equal to x, okay, is twice either base angle. Okay, so it says that this angle is 2 times of this angle or this angle, which is right because these two angles are equal, है ना? So if this is x degrees, then I can say that angle B is x by 2 because vertex angle is twice of this, and then angle C is also x by 2 because then these two angles are equal. But we know that sum of the three angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So what are my angle A plus B plus C? Basically x degree, sorry, basically x plus x by 2 plus x by 2 equal to 180 degree. Now see, this is x by 1 plus x by 2 plus x by 2. There are two methods to solve this equation now, and I am getting into mathematics of how to solve it easily. So see, first of all, in maths you need to be smart. Okay, you need to be smart and you need to see what is there. Now when I look at it, this equation, I clearly see that x plus 2 plus x plus 2, I mean, you don't even have to do a fraction addition, and you know that this x plus 2 plus x plus 2 is x. So simply you write x plus x equal to 180 degree, 2x equal to 180 degree, and x equal to 90 degrees. So this angle is 90, this is 45, this is 45. That's a simple method of doing it, but this will not be like you have to be really observant and you have to see the form of the equation, and then obviously you have the let's say you are unable to see that. Okay, so in that case then it's very simple. First of all, we see that all the variable terms are on one side and the constant term is on one side, so we will do a simple fraction addition. Okay, so LCM of all these will be 2, and then this will be 2x plus x plus x, right? As you are multiplying, as you add fractions, similarly you add this fraction also, except for a number you will multiply a variable. Okay, so this is what 2x plus x, how much it is? 4x by 2 equal to 180 degree, and this is basically 2x equal to 180 degree. So you got it. Now you can say that while you assumed that angle A is equal to x degrees, which I did, you could have actually assumed that angle B equal to angle C equal to x degrees, correct? So this is x, then this becomes 2x as per the question, and then you simply say 4x equal to 180 degree. Now see, the calculation suddenly becomes so much easier. You don't have to do a fraction addition. So when you solve a problem, you have to be really open in your head and you have to think that what assumption of x or what variable will basically make my equation simpler. This is a far more simple equation to solve as compared to x plus 2 plus x plus 2. This is also simple, but this is even more simple, right? So these are the things that no teacher will not teach you. I mean, these are the things that you have to, when you practice a lot, you will realize that okay, instead of assuming that angle A is equal to x, let me assume that angle B is equal to x, so that A can be 2x, and then the three sum of three angles I can directly say 2x plus 3x plus x equal to 4x. Okay, now sometimes what will happen is that you will have an equation and you can also convert it into a puzzle. So let's say I have an equation which says 2x plus 3 equal to 7, right? So I can write it as 7 minus 3, okay, and then I can write x as 7 minus 3 by 2. So if I were to like make a statement out of it, I could have said that, let's say x is the money which I have, okay, and 7 is the money which my friend has. So I can tell my friend that I have half the money, okay, or uh, you have 3 more than twice of what I have, right? If I look at this expression, I can tell my friend that your money is basically, this is 2x plus 3. So I'll say if I have x, I double it and then add 3, that is the money which you have, right? So I can tell him that basically you have 3 rupees more than double of what I have. That's a way of telling this. Another way of telling it is that I have half of 3 less than what you have, right? Half of 3 less than what you have, which means that whatever he has, I first less 3 from it and then I half it. This is the opposite way I thought I should discuss. So you can try for any equation, then try and convert it into a statement, a puzzle, and that way you will be able to create equations. Now let's solve a few more. Find a number such that 1/4 of the number is 3 more than 7. I think very similar to what we were doing in the previous one. So let's say let's say that, okay, let's say that this number is x, okay, such that 1/4 of the number, now 1/4 of x, okay, that is 3 more than 7, right? So this is basically 7 plus 3. That is what it says, right? That 1/4 of the number is 3 more than 7. So basically whatever 1/4 of the number minus 3b will be equal to 7, right? So this becomes x by 4 equal to 10, and that gives me x equal to 40. So I have solved it. Very simple. So you just have to break it down and you will be able to solve it very easily. So do not get worried by equation. It's very simple. When you multiply a number by 6, so right now I know that I have to find out this number. So I will say, I will close my eyes and I will say that let the number be x, okay. And now it says when you multiply a number, basically this number, by 6. So first I do 6x, I multiplied it by 6, and subtract 5 from the product. So now I subtract 5 from it. You get 7, I get 7. So I have, now let me solve it. Now this was an algebraic expression. Now I have put a condition to it, okay. So now it becomes an equation, and for a certain value of x, this condition will be satisfied. So 6x equal to, I will transpose what is here, minus 5. So when I move 5 to this side, it will become plus 5, okay. Or I can also add plus 5 on both sides. This plus 5, this plus 5, minus 5 will get cancelled, become 0, and this will become 12, okay. So x equal to 2. I have solved it. It's very easy. Equations, I think, is one of the easiest things to solve. Now let's solve this problem. Once again, it says that there are 2 types of boxes containing mangoes, okay. So there is box 1 and then there is box 2. Each box of the larger type, let's say that 2 is the large box and 1 is the small box, okay. Each box of the larger type contains 4 mangoes more. Wow. Then the number of mangoes contained in 8 boxes of the smaller type. Fantastic. So basically, let's say that a small box, a small box, one small box has X mangoes. Okay. And therefore, 8 small boxes will have 8x mangoes. And it says that larger box, one large box, each of the larger box, okay, has 4 more than the number of mangoes contained in 8 boxes of smaller types. So one large box, okay, one large box will have 8x plus 4. Now it says that each larger box has 100 mangoes. So this is equal to 100, and then I solve it. So basically it becomes 8x equal to 96, and x, which is 12 8s are 96, so it is 12. So the number of mangoes contained in the smaller box they are asking. So x I had assumed. So basically the number of mangoes contained in the smaller box will be 12. That's the answer. So you can see it seemed like a complex problem, but basically if you are able to write the expressions well. Okay, now let me give you the same problem using, now you can say that sir you know, so let's solve it in another way. Here what we said, that we assumed that x is the number of mangoes which are in the smaller box. Forget it. We will say that x is the number of mangoes which is in the larger box. Okay, so in the large box, how many mangoes are there? X mangoes. Now I know that each box of the larger type contains 4 more than 8 boxes of the smaller type. So smaller box will have how many? First of all, each box of larger type, which is X, okay, has 4 more mangoes. So I subtract 4. Contained in 8 boxes of the smaller type, which means I divide by 8. That will give me. Okay. Now it says that each larger box has 100 mangoes. Okay. So find the number of mangoes in the smaller box. So basically here I am saying that larger box has 100 mangoes. Okay, this is x is equal to 100. So it is 100 minus 4 by 8, which is basically 12. See, you put 100 here, you will get how many mangoes are there in the smaller box. So like I said, you can assume anything which is unknown and you can solve it. You just have to establish the relationship which is given in form of statements. So that will be all on simple equations. It really is simple, which is why it's called simple equation. And between this video and the class 6 video, I think it really does capture how to solve simple equation, how to solve the problems. Please don't be scared. If there is any problem which is giving you trouble, you can write to me. This is my email ID, or you can also leave a comment in the comment box and I will provide the solution. And see you in the next video. Goodbye.